รเพื่อนำเสนอบรรยายธรรมที่ลึกซึ้งเรื่องหนึ่งชื่อว่าเรื่องเล่าในพุทธศาสนาหากดอกบัวตอนที่4ของ6ตอนในระหว่างอาจารย์และลูกศิษย์บรรยายเป็นภาษาอังกฤษในวันที่10ตุลาปีคริสตศักราช2015ฝรั่งเศส
Now the servant girl, put in different spot for each the brothers, so they know which one is them. Probably this is number 1, number 2, 3, number 7. So the youngest one take, and then the second. After the clapping of the wood, the first one go out, and then because it's also near, separate from each other but near. So the 5 minutes later, the second will come, and like that. So they leave each other alone until the 5th day, and then they meet each other for refreshing, encouragement, and inspiration in the spiritual life. That is good. So so now the holy ones come out one by one, and each in turn would take his share of the roots and then return to his hut there to enjoy the meal. The rest of the day they spent in meditation. By this practice, they avoided seeing each other at any time except when listening to the sermons from the big brothers. Like that. They make it an agreement with each other like that. So, you like these people now? You're blessing them, huh? You okay, huh? You're cool. Good boy you are. You're beautiful. Still you're beautiful. Whoa! Where have you been all this time? You hiding in your hut, huh? It's good so. What did you scavenge just now? You ate enough today, okay, huh? Did you eat all your food, the spaghettis and vegan ham and all that? Did you? If not, then when I come home I give you some more, huh? Okay? Or we eat tomorrow, okay? Yes? All right, you are a good boy, okay. I'll see if I have anything for you. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Okay. For fun. There you go. All right, we go. You go back to this old woman there? No? No, I have a bone. You come here, huh? I love you. Let me do some work and we go home soon, okay? I also did not eat anything since this noon. No? Oh. Okay, love. Okay, just one love, right? Long time no see, right? A few hours. Oh, how terrible. Such a long time. Okay. You had it? Hayao more time. Okay then. Good. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Such extraordinary moral practice, such a refined way of behaving and living, and such love of detachment brought them great renown. If somebody else can understand English and speak Chinese and translate, so she's not too tired. Anybody else? It's okay? All right, good. They speak Fujian Hoa, 台湾国语他懂就好了 OK 我怕他不懂国语就懂台语就更麻烦台湾了台湾意思 OK alright 都懂哈翻译好哈很简单 shopping for love it's a supermarket of love here when I'm with him alone it's just a small grocery store, but when a disciple is around, the supermarket of love. See, shopping for love, told you. When somebody else love, just want to be friendly. Yeah. My God, you are a different dog. Yeah, he was different, completely different before. Opposite, ne? And here he's so relaxing. It's for friendly now. All right. So, so even though they went into the forest to hide away from the war, and to detach themselves from all the worldly concern. But they are renowned now. They become renowned now, famous. Yeah. So, not only the world, not only he's renowned in the world, but now a lot of the gods, the chakra, the Lord of 33 gods, also heard of this holy family. Oh, now we are going to have trouble. Yeah, you're right. You're good. I love you so much. Okay. So, when Sakra, the Lord of the gods, yeah, I know, heard of this holy family, he went to their dwelling place for the express purpose of testing them. Good of you behave, or else he come and test you also. Yeah. But I protect you from this God. Now, you quiet, okay? No more noise, eh? Otherwise, I have to ask you to go out. Understand now? You know that. Stay and calm. Meditate and listen, okay? Right. You don't need to always confirm. Eh? They understood. Yeah. And they believe me. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here up to now. Yeah. So, seeing the Sakra God, seeing their disposition to meditation, their freedom from bad habits or cravings, and their remarkable calm, his high opinion of them increased. But thank God, thank you, making him all the more intent on testing them. He increased respect for them, but he's more intent on testing them. Oh, this God. Okay. 4. So it is that those who are free from desire, those who dwell in the depth of the forest, intent solely on calmness of mind, always cause reverence to arise in the hearts of the virtuous. All right, so invisible Sakra watched while the serving girl gathered the lotus roots, which were white as the tusk of a young elephant. She then washed them and divided them equally onto emerald green lotus leaves, decorating each leaf with flower petals and pollen. Oh, what a lovely girl. He watched as she announced the meal to the holy ascetics by knocking together 2 pieces of wood, and watched as she withdrew. At that very moment, Sakra caused the first share to vanish from the lotus leaf. For when trouble arises, he thought, for when trouble arises and satisfaction disappears, the constancy of the virtues is best measure. Meaning when you are in need, when you're short of basic things, then people will know whether you're really virtuous or not and how deep is your virtue. Yeah. So he want to measure it in this situation. Already don't have anything, just some lotus root, and still have to come and make trouble like that. When the Bodhisattva saw that the roots were missing from his leaves, his leaf were the position for him, their decoration of petals and pollen disturbed, he thought to himself, someone has taken my share of food, the biggest brother, but feeling neither anger nor agitation. So he returned to his hut as usual and began to meditate. He understood, he just forgot. He felt no need to inform the others of the matter. He didn't even complain, not wishing to distress them. And they, of course, believing that he had eaten his share, took their portions as usual and ate them alone in their huts, after which they returned to meditation. In the same manner, chakra concealed the bodhisattva's portion on the second day, again, the third, the fourth, the fifth. But the effect was always the same. The great being remained calm and completely untroubled. But that's easy, just food, Oh, my chakra here, they have different strategies. Not just food. Food is easy, They do different things, through the dogs or through their all kind of things, or excuses every day. So if you don't believe in chakra exists, I can confirm it to you, he does. And he does try to make trouble, that's for sure. So the result always the same, yeah? In the same manner, chakra concealed. Okay. The great being remained calm and completely untroubled. Indeed, to the virtuous, it is agitation of mind and not extinction of life that is the true death. If you die, it's not as bad as when you are agitated, you are vexed, or you are, trouble in the mind. Okay. Therefore, the virtues remain forever undisturbed, even when in mortal danger. On the afternoon of the fifth day, the ascetics went as usual to the hut of the bodhisattva to hear his teaching. But on seeing him, they were astonished. His body was so lean, his cheeks so hollow, his eyes so sunken. The splendor of his face had faded. Not eating for 5 days, and maybe continue more. The 5 days, of course, and then the fifth day they see each other. Yeah. Eat even only 1 meal a day, and just a lotus root. And if you don't eat that, just to keep it regular, then body, of course, wane. You don't have to eat a lot, but if you eat regularly, then the body used to it. And then once it suddenly stops like that, of course the body reacts. Yeah, could be in danger. Yeah. So now all the brothers came, and maybe also the servants and the friend also came there and listened to his sermon on the fifth day. They saw him very, very kind of haggard, skinny, lost weight. And the splendor of his face had faded even, and his voice had lost its strength. Still, no matter how emacipated, he was as lovely as the crescent moon, for his virtues, wisdom, constancy, and tranquility had not diminished. After paying the bodhisattva the usual homage, the family then asked him anxiously about the cause of his condition. And the bodhisattva told them of the missing food. Unable to imagine any of them capable of such a deed, and quite alarmed at their brother's suffering, the ascetics, the brothers and friends, spoke their sorrow, their eyes fixed on the ground in distress. But since chakra's power had inhibited the very workings of their minds, they were unable to guess at the cause of the strange disappearance. The chakra don't allow them to even guess why, or who stole the food even. They could not guess also. Who wouldn't think that the God would come and do such a cruelty trick like that? It's beyond me either. It's terrible God. That's why anybody who worships the lower God should beware. They're not all that good and kind. Sometimes they laugh at humans' misfortune. In the theater, they're going on around the world, they don't care. They have the power. You see, if they have the power to inhibit these people not to even know what to think, what to say, they could also change the mind of the world, but they didn't do it. Sometimes they like it. So that people will come and pray to them and they feel good. Terrible. So now, this is just lower God, né? High, but high astral, not high god. But not the ordinary astral, chief god of the gods and of the astral citizens. So then one brother, next eldest after the Bodhisattva, the second brother, revealed both his alarm and his innocence by this extraordinary protestation. May whoever took your lotus root, O Brahman, win a house, displaying signs of wealth, and a wife who suits his heart's desire. And may he have many children and grandchildren. That's their curse on them. Not say you go to hell or anything, but may you have a big house, a lot of wealth, and have children, have wife. But this is even worse curse, no? Not that wishing you bad misfortune or poor, sickness, nothing. Wish you to have good house, a lot of money, and wife and children. Oh, this is really shackled. Yeah. The second brother worried that maybe somebody else think he stole it, you see? So he has to say like this to show that he wasn't the one. Because this to them, the one who renounced the world and desire and wealth and wife and children, this is a curse to them. If you curse somebody like that, that's the opposite of what they want. You see what I mean? So if the brother say like that, meaning he didn't steal the lotus, because he wouldn't wish that thing upon himself. You see what I mean? It's funny, but this is the way the ascetics people and the real the real practitioner they behave, no? Yeah. You would think they bless them, huh? In this world, yes. In this world, if you wish people wealth and prosperity and wife suitable to him even, and many children, wow, they like it. Oh, thank you very much. But for the ascetic, this is exactly the opposite. Yeah. So if he wish somebody like that, that meaning, okay, have your punishment as you wish, because you did a bad thing to my brother, Yeah, so. Okay, and then the third brother also say, to prove his innocence. Because he couldn't curse upon himself like that, Meaning, if he say like that, if he did steal, he wouldn't dare to say, whoever steal it, will have a wealth and family and wife and that. So the third brother say, may whoever took your lotus root became a wealthy householder with a large family. May he delight in the home life without a thought for the time when he must pass from this world. Meaning, may he be fatter forever, until he die. He will never know liberation. He never know spiritual taste. That's what it is. But in this world, it sounds like a blessing. No, to them it's a curse. Yeah. So the fourth brother said, may the greedy person, they all want to prove that they didn't do it, May the greedy person who took your lotus root rule over the entire earth. Or even worse. Not just one family, but rule the whole world. And be worshipped by princes humble as slaves who bow their trembling heads to him. Wow, this will be very good for his arrogant ego, whoever that is. You understand? It sounds like a blessing, huh? But to the ascetic, these are curse, yeah. Because this is not what they wanted. You see, even ruling the whole world is not what they want. They want nothing anymore. So if they wish somebody like that, okay, that means they really dislike that person, hate that person. Okay. Now the fifth brother also give his blessing to whoever. May whoever took your lotus root become a high priest in the court of a king. Oh God. May he possess knowledge of powerful incantations. It's nothing, just to recite in mantras and stuff, and be treated with the utmost distinction. Okay, then he will be caught in that. He will have no time, the poor priest, If he's in the court of the king, and the king, treat him well, then he's doomed. He will have no time for meditation, and he will be hooked into all this richness and, power and comfortable life. Then he's finished. So, said the sixth brother. May the person who was more eager to possess your lotus roots than your qualities become a famous teacher, well versed in the Vedas, and join the worship of many followers who view him as a great ascetic. How ascetic, Said the friend, now it's his friend, also chip in. My God, the poor Chakra. He deserves it. The Chakra doesn't know what he's into. He got more than his bargain. And mind you, these ascetic, they are powerful because they renounce everything already. They has nothing to lose, and they want nothing. And they practice sincerely, purely, every day, one-pointedly, just for liberation, for spiritual elevation only. Therefore, they're very powerful. So this poor Chakra, even if he's a god of the gods, he's gonna have it. Yeah. So now the friend also pronounce his blessing. Yeah. May the person. No, they didn't say anything bad, truly, no? They didn't say you go into hell or you get sick or you be nothing. They're blessed. only blessed. So you cannot say that these are bad or break the precepts. Nothing. You cannot, right? Okay, but they did curse, yeah. Because they know very well these things, family, fame, wealth, worshipping of people, when you are nothing of value inside, is a trap and a curse. Yeah, so they know that. So they didn't say anything bad. No, all blessing. Said the friend now. May the person who could not subdue his craving for your lotus root be given a fine village by the king, a village filled with prosperous folk who have large stores of corn, wood, and water, and may he die without ever subduing his desires. That means he will reincarnate again. Because he still has the desire. He's going to come back to eat all this corn and rice and drink the water. Yeah. So if you die without subduing your desire, then you have to be reborn again. My God. The friend is more wicked than the rest. More deep. All right. Now the manservant also want to share his blessing to the whoever. Oh man, the Chakra got. Because once he's married, right now he got all this. Yeah. Said the manservant now. May the one who destroy his own interests for the sake of those lotus roots become the head of a village. May he have numerous friends. Oh God, then he has no time for anything. And be entertained by many women. Oh, then he even have less time. Dancing and singing. And may he never be harmed by the king. I mean, the king even spoiled him. And then he's doomed. He's done for. Okay. Said the sister. Now the sister. May whoever took your lotus root become a woman of exceptional beauty, with figure and form unmatched in this world. You know, right? Beautiful, then you'll be captured anytime, all the time. May a king take her for his wife, you see that? And place her at the head of his harem of 1,000. Yeah. What good life can that be? You have 999 women hate you day and night because you're the chief wife of the king. You think being a queen is good? All the concubines hate you, plot to poison you, plot to kill your, prince, your thorn-inherited prince. Yeah. They poison you anytime they can, you see? Except the fear of persecution, otherwise they would. Yeah, everybody want to be the king wife, and see the chief wife, and around 999 the king don't have time for her. At least half of it he didn't have time for. They will hate her. Yeah. So people want like to be queen and all that. Oh my God, they're just collector of curses, you know. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. Unless you really try to weather it, be really a good king or good queen. But if you are queen, a wife of a king, then oh my God, there's a lot of jealousy going around. How you live in that atmosphere, you know, cutting edge, and I don't know. Yeah. That's why many queens in former life, you know, get poisoned, get kicked out, or die, or being, accused of this and that wrongly, you know? And the king also kick her out or punish or kill. Okay, so you know already. His harem of 1,000, okay. Said the maid servant now. The maid servant also has some blessing to give. Yeah. May the one who set her heart on gaining those lotus roots rather than on gaining the Dharma take great delight in eating sweet meats alone and in the dark. May she disregard all virtuous things and rejoice whenever she is presented with a dainty dish. So that means the chakra will never see the spiritual light until he live out all this. You know, many hundreds of lifetime. Yeah. Until all the karma wear out. So she think he can just harass people and get away with it. I think he will not. Even as a god. Bad intention. Huh? Coming out and disturb people who has nothing to do with him. Nobody invite him, nobody disturb him. What for he come down and, you know, torture people in different way like that. But this is already a very humane way he did. Yeah, you know, through many other stories how he tortured, killed the Buddha, and really torture him, not just kill, not just take the food away. Okay, now 3 creatures of the forest had also come near to hear the sermon. A yaksha, you know, one of the demons, an elephant, and a monkey. Okay. Because when the bodhisattva or any saintly person preach, many creatures also come and listen. Yeah, sometimes the angels and the devas from heaven as well. Depends on how powerful that bodhisattva or that saint is. Yeah. We heard that in the Chinese legend that one master, Zen master, when he preached, all the stones, not the head, you know. Well, what is familiar? I have many stones and not the head all the time in my group. 好多石头，我常常看到，四周围的点头，什么都不懂的点头。Okay. Overhearing the conversation, they were overcome with dismay and confusion. So the yaksha avowed his innocence with this solemn protestation. Even the yaksha is a demon, you know. Also come and protest. He worried that they might think he is the one who stole the lotus. So he also gives the blessing to whoever. May whoever failed you for the sake of those lotus roots be in charge of a great monastery. May he be responsible for all the repairs of the town of Kankagala, wherever that is, and he be obliged to construct one window every day. Wow. And the elephant, also innocent, you know. He has to prove it. Yeah. Said the elephant. Most excellent Muni, meaning he called the Bodhisattva, you know, the biggest brother. He revere him, call him Muni. Muni is meaning like wish fulfilling jewel. Yeah. Just a name to show respect to somebody, a saintly person. Yeah. The elephant said, most excellent Muni, may the one who took your lotus root be dragged out of this lovely forest. into the company of men. Look at the elephant, they don't like men, so this is the worst thing that could happen. So when he say like that, meaning he's innocent, because if he took it, he would be dragged out of the forest and go live with men, and that's what the elephants hate. Yeah, because the people, the men, human, they took the elephants since they were young, baby, and trained them in such a cruel way. They beat them up, they starve them until they have, and they give them drug, or they chain them, and they use sharp object to punish them whenever they don't obey until they subdue. That is terrible. Humans are the most terrible animals of all. Animals, they don't treat each other this way. Maybe they kill each other sometimes to eat because they're hungry, but that's all, just one. No torturing, no inflicting long suffering, mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, like that. Understand me? I'm sorry, but I say some human, maybe not all human, of course, but some human are so crueler than tiger and lion. I told you one story already about the old woman. She lived in a mountain. I told this story, I think, in Hong Kong or something. Lived in a mountain, and her family, one by one, eaten by tiger. And she still lives there. She doesn't want to go down. So some people say, why don't you go down, live in downtown with us? It's safer. Yeah? She said, because here there's a tiger. They might eat you up. You're not afraid? She said, yeah. Here I have a tiger. We have tiger here, and I'm afraid. But I'm more afraid of human and the government down there. Yeah, so she just stayed there. She says she was more afraid of the government down there. The government also belongs to human race, no? Okay. The elephant continue, May he be fettered with 600 solid chains. It's all what the elephant afraid of, and suffer degrading pain from the goat of his driver. The elephant, when somebody drive him, right on top of elephant, they always beat him up. Sometimes with sharp stuff, axe and all that, just to add him on. Terrible. Just to train the elephants. At a tender age, my God, such a baby elephant. They make him kneel, they make him do this, do that, and if they don't do it, they pinch them. Oh, terrible. I saw it on documentary. Oh, I would like to wish them just like this elephant wish them, but I don't want. I can't. I can't. So the elephant is not polite, not wishing them with family, because he doesn't care. He doesn't know anything about that, so he wish whatever he's afraid most to whoever. So that means he's innocent. He didn't steal the lotus root. So the monkey also have something. The monkey said, may whoever was moved by greed to take your lotus root wear a gallon of cheap flowers and a tight thin collar around his neck. That is all the monkey doesn't like, tight thing around his neck. May he be beaten with a stick and forced to dance in front of a serpent. The circus people, they make him do that. So this is all the monkey afraid of, that they wish it upon whoever do that. That means he just want to prove he's innocent also. May he spend his days in the houses of men. Oh, that's what the monkey hates, All the animals don't like us. They're afraid of us up to this extent. Yeah, just see what we did, what we have done and did and are doing and will do to animals, and we know why. Yeah? We always say animals, ferocious, wicked, I say fierce, but how about us? How about human? What makes us have the right to say that about animals when we are even worse? Many of us are worse. I wish the human would wake up and think about it. Okay, so then, with persuasive and kind words, the Bodhisattva showed the depth of his dispassionate nature. So he spoke. May the one who falsely said they have disappeared, though he had them, win every pleasure of the world he has ever longed for, and die a householder. That means what they don't like, And may the same fate befall any who suspect another of such an action even. Yeah. Such extraordinary protestations demonstrating their abhorrence of all worldly pleasures. In all this is mean they don't like anything in the world, Yeah. Greatly astonished Shakra, because everybody in this world wish everything like this, but this is the one they protest, they don't like. So Shakra was surprised. Oh God, I am surprised as him, as the God. Being a God, he should know who is who, no? If he has no discrimination between good one and bad one, I don't know why he's sitting up there, doing what? With all the privilege, honor, pleasure granted to him like that, he should be a better person. We mortal humans, maybe we ignorant. We don't have, third eye to look all over the planet to see what is who, yeah? He has a heaven eye, and he only knows into other people's business. It's not his doing, it's not his business. And he knows into good people. Why don't we go and take care of the bad people instead? Test them, harass them, and make them wake up, to become a better person. If he can do all these tricks, why doesn't he come and help the world using his magical power to change the bad into the good? By doing tricks like this, if he's allowed to do that, because masters not allowed to, understand, must play fair, cannot use magical power to change people. Have to change them with reason, and inside helping them, but not outwardly using magic or anything like that to change people, to attract people. You understand? But if he is allowed to do this, why don't we go and do it to criminals and change their mind, make them feel awe and afraid and fear God and change into a better person, I ask you. Yes. Would you do that if you were him, Yes. If you're allowed to do that, would you go and change the bad people into the good? No? Would you? Yes. Yes. But this God have nothing to do, enjoy all the pleasure and privilege, had nothing better to do but go and, painting the person who already left everything behind and who just want to find themselves and to be liberated, to be enlightened. All right, okay, so the Sakra were greatly astonished. Yeah, and everybody think the gods knows everything. Yeah? Even the lower gods, they have magical power. They have eyes, they can see the whole world everywhere. How can they not know? I mean, it's okay to punish somebody bad or doing something wrong, karma or something. Nothing. People already left everything behind. Or eat just some lotus root once a day and still come and doing that. Yeah, being a god, don't even know, and surprised at such a noble attitude from these saintly people. Yeah, okay. We, the human being, we are helpless. We don't have any power. We can't fly. We can't hide ourselves. We can't do any tricks. We can't do anything. But a God who has so much power, and just going around and messing people up, the people who are saintly, who are sincere and who pure like that, is worthy of being scolded and cursed like what I did. I'm not sorry at all. And that's very mild already. If I'm not a practitioner, I will give him more than that. Yeah, okay? I just have to mince my words as your master. I have to make, gentle example. So lucky for you. Chakra. Behave yourself. Yeah, if I'm not a master, you would know me. Okay, all right. So, now, the Lord of the Gods, Chakra, taking on his taking on his own brilliant shape, approached the ascetics and said, now he's not hiding somewhere and doing things like lowly thief. He appeared in all splendor, real brilliant form, and then said, as if with resentment even, he's even jealous of people's virtues and moral conduct. Not only he tested already, he's not still happy when people are still undisturbed by his test. He's jealous, as if with resentment. He came and spoke to them. To the biggest brother who he stole the food from. Okay. You ought not to speak in such a manner. Oh, now he preached. Oh, wow. Oh, bravo. Now he preached. Listen to him. You should not speak in such a manner. Everyone in the world longs for happiness, some striving for it so intensely that they never sleep. For the sake of happiness, people will undertake all manner of penance and toil, yet you slander these enjoyments, because whatever they say is like sarcastically meaning, like the thing they hate, they wish it should on them. But they didn't say anything wrong, Actually, you can't blame them. You cannot say, oh, you say bad things or a negative thing. No, they say all the positive stuff, except the elephant and the monkey. Then, of course, they're animals. They only say what they know, All right. They are also not ascetic, so they have no vow, nothing. They say what they think. Okay. All right. So now, why are you calling them worldly pleasures? How can you make such a judgment? As if they are bad. The Shakra preached. You should not say such a thing. Okay. So now the Bodhisattva, the biggest brother, replied, sensual enjoyments bring with them endless suffering, sir. Listen now, and I will tell you precisely why the Munis shun desire. Muni, means the saintly person. Yeah. The Munis meaning wish-fulfilling jewel. Because these saintly people, they can grant blessing, can grant wish to you. You all know that. That's why people pray to monks and to saint people, grant them this, give them a son, give them a fortune, etc., etc. Because a real practitioner with a lot of merit, they can grant you what you wish. Yeah, of course they don't always do that, because I don't know, sometimes it's not good for you to do that. Yeah? But meaning these people, they have power to grant you your wish, yeah, provided it's not so bad. Okay. Yeah. That's why they call them Munis. Munis meaning wish-fulfilling jewels. Yeah. All right. The Buddha, one of his names, also Muni. That's why they call him Shaka Muni's Buddha. Okay. Now, okay, the Bodhisattva reply. Bodhisattva, because they know this is the reincarnation of the Buddha. So they also call him a great being or the Bodhisattva, okay? Reverence. So he replied, sensual enjoyments bring with them endless suffering, sir. Listen now, and I will tell you precisely why the Munis shun desire. People will undergo captivity and death, grief, fatigue, danger, and innumerable calamities just to gain their desires. Yeah. In order to gain what they desire, kings will eagerly oppress virtue and fall into hell upon hell after death. Yeah, this is a problem. Is it true, right? Yeah. The higher the position, the more risk you take of going nearer to hell. Because when you have power, it's difficult not to use it. Yeah. That's why rich people, high position people, they sometimes have to make decisions against moral standards. Because they're pressed into it. If they don't do it, then their opponent probably will drag them down, will defeat them. And the family will become poor again and become nobody again. It's a great loss for them. So they have to keep their position. And in order to keep their position, sometimes they have to resort to doing tricks and stuff that is against even their will and their moral judgment. They had to do it to keep what they have. This is the thing. And kings sometimes they kill many people, chop heads, because he can do that. Sometimes even wrongly so. At one time, one of the story I remember, I don't know if it's the story I told you or not. The king was playing a chess game with his one of his officials, and then he need to go to the bathroom. So he tell his assistant to continue the game with the court official, and then the assistant asked, "What to do with this one now? You know, with the shoulder or with whatever that is now?" He said, "Kill him." No, at that time, one of the person go ask what to do with a criminal, you know, outside. And then because the king answer in another way to the chess game, he said, "Kill him." Like take him down, you know, like that. And then they went out and chopped that person's head. Later he came back and said, "Oh yeah, what happened to the criminal? Where is he now?" He said, "We already chopped his head. You told us to kill him." Without any judgment, without any consideration or review his case, nothing yet. You see, if you're not a king, that wouldn't happen. Yes. Yeah? If for example, I play a game and if somebody go ask me what to do with your brother and sister outside, if I even say kill him on the chest, you wouldn't go and kill your brother and sister because you know I won't do that. Right? And you know we couldn't kill anybody anyway. We are just nobody. And we kill nobody, right? We are nobody and we kill nobody anyway, no matter what, right? So it won't happen, just because he's a king. And that kind of law always chop people's head if somebody do something wrong, you see, accordingly. So it's become like that, chop head, just like that. And later found out somehow that person is not guilty. It's too late, yeah? Okay. So that's the king stuff. Eh? I remember one of the king also, somebody tried to harm some of the brothers, 33 brothers, and he put some knife inside their rods, and he told the king that these brothers aimed to kill him, usurp his throne. So they put knives in the rod, and the king took the rod to look and saw the knife truly in it, and he killed all of them, innocent one. But of course it's karma, of course, nah? You understand that? Yeah, they're karma. But still, even if it's karma, we wouldn't do that, you see, because we are ordinary citizens. We couldn't kill anybody, number one. Number two, we are practitioner of non-violence. You see what I mean? So to be a king or prime minister, queen, all these powerful figures are not always a blessing. You have to make decision even if you don't want to. Like President of America or any country, for example. They don't want to make war with anybody. They don't want to send their young, handsome boys, you know, to be soldiers and be killed or kill others in the field. They don't want that. Because they have children also, they understand. And they don't want that. But they are provoked to do it. And maybe Congress pressed them, the army pushed them. They're in the position of commander. They have to okay with that. And they have to send people out. And the big karma upon them, the one who command. Not on the soldiers. The soldiers maybe take only 1 or 2% of the killing karma. But the commander, the one who ordered to kill, that's get the biggest karma of all. I wouldn't run for the office that will someday or somehow force me to make decision to kill under my power. And I wouldn't wish to be king, queen, president. Yeah, it's very difficult to be king and queen and not to involved in killing when the country is at war, you know, or if some other country come and provoke your country to war. Even if your country don't want, then people provoke you. And then from then it continue, because If you win that country, then other people of that country hate you somehow. Then somebody would hate you. And then back and forth, reincarnate again and again, killing each other and involve in some, bystander, make them all go into that karma also, more or less, you see? And then it become like a bigger and bigger group of collective karma. Or it involved other people who are innocent, but then also involved in it, even though not killing each other, but then become refugees later on, or lost their life, or lost their parents, lost their relatives and friends, and lost their house and their possession, and become refugees in another country like that. Because collective karma, because indirect involved, are born in that country, and pay tax for the government to send the soldiers to go out to kill. Even that. Not because you kill. If you kill, of course you will get killed again, maybe. But even you just pay tax, or you just live in that country and support the government, because you have to. If you don't support the government decision, or you don't send your son to be a soldier, then they think you are traitor of the country, enemy of the state, then you get also trouble. Either you get killed in this life, or get jailed in this life for opposing the government, or you get killed or jailed or have a bad karma in another lifetime for supporting the government. See what I mean? So it's not like just one person go to war or order to war, then everybody else okay. It's not like that. No. Collective karma is also very fearsome. Yeah? Frightening. All right. Now, another one. The Bodhisattva continue to talk to the chakra god. When friendships, first he talk about the king, which go from one hell after another even, not just one hell, but one after another, for the karma that he caused while being a king. Powerful. When you have power, you can do anything. Chop, chop, chop head, just like that. If you're not a king, you can't just do that. Yeah, you don't have power. If you do that, people put you in jail. But you're a king, you can. You see? Especially older king. Ancient kings, they have more power. Oh, more than anybody at this time. Now, even nowadays, king and queen, they are more democratic. They have parliaments, they have people and all that. Even king and queen don't have this absolute power like a former time. Or even president, they don't have this absolute power. Well, thank God for them, for the leaders, yeah, and for the people. Yeah. But in former ancient times, kings are absolute. They are God on earth. What they say is law. They can make people die or live according to their whim, their mood, or their wrongly information. Yeah. Because being a king, you have enemies. Everybody envy your throne, or like the queens. Not only envy you, envy the queens you have, beautiful, and all the wealth that you collect from people, and the opulent lifestyle you have, right? Opulent? Yeah, lifestyle that you have. And there are poor people who has nothing to eat. In every country it happens, yeah? And then, of course, you are king, you cannot know every case, and you cannot just help everyone. Besides, you have local gods, local kings under you, and they are kings. They do anything. Sometimes they blind you, or they report something wrong, and then you treat people unkindly or harshly or kill them, and then the enemies born out of that, etc., etc. So the king always afraid of people kill him and take his throne. So he always have to be careful, vigilant, and depends on these spies who always like to flatter the king, flatter the king more than telling the truth. And if they hate somebody, they will make the king kill them. They will tell something wrong, say they're traitor, or they are scheming to take your throne or kill you, and immediately the king had to destroy them. And sometimes they have to kill the whole clans, so that avoid the future children, born and then go up and take revenge. So they kill the whole clan, old and young and babies, everything. Imagine how much karma. And sometimes innocent people, innocent family, being wrongly reported or accused because of hatred, because of competition. Yeah. Therefore, being a king is nothing to be envied, especially former lives. But many kings are saintly also. We have kings in Vietnam who are very saintly. Yeah. Lý Thánh Tông. Yeah, there was one. One time he went out to just to see how's going on in the ordinary people life. He saw a person, a dead person already. Has no clothes on and already dead, but it looked very badly, because of wind and rain and long time and smelling and swelling already. He felt so sad. He took out his kingly robe and covered that person to keep him dignity. Because in Vietnam we believe that even a person die, you still have soul, That's why they bury them and pray to them. Children pray to the parents after they die and everything. They believe there's another life. And even the body is sacred, That's why when they bury the person, have to wear new clothes and, put some nice makeup on and flower, incense, perfume, and put in a nice coffin and all that, and build a little coffin, a little tomb house for them. Yeah. So the king saw him just die without anything covered like that. It's below dignity, understand? So he has nothing. At that time, of course, so he took his royal robe, cloak, the coat, to cover that person, to give him the last dignity. Yeah. It's written in history. Yeah. And we have king also renounce his kingdom and want to become monk in the temple. But then the whole court moved with him. He went to the temple. He don't want to rule anymore. He don't want to be king anymore. And all the whole officials court moved together, live next to the temple, camp next to it. They say, wherever your majesty is, wherever your majesty are, the court will be there too. Yeah, poor king. You see, being a king, not only you can't avoid making bad decision, even good decision you cannot make. Isn't that a funny word, huh? So funny. Yeah. You're so bound like that, with obligation, with duty. So you think being a king is something glorious. Not always. So therefore even the King of England before, he resigned because he couldn't even allow to love. He's not allowed to love the person he chose. Remember? Just because the law, the law is that he's a royal blood, the royal king, royal blood, a royal blood, and he has to marry some royal blood, yeah. But she was American woman and divorced even, so that's a taboo at that time. I'm glad it's not like that anymore. Okay, so he had to renounce his kingdom, his throne, in order to marry his sweetheart. I mean, if he does something bad as a king, maybe okay, they renounce him, but he just love. Just for love, my God. They don't even let him. But nowadays, not like that anymore. Okay, so now, don't forget all that, okay? Never mind. It's just fun to talk with you because you you encourage me. You inspired me. You can sit here forever and listen to any nonsense. Okay. But these are educational. The story also inspired me, And the tea she gave me this afternoon is making me awake now and talkative. So I just blame you and her and the tea, bad tea. And now, yeah, I'm telling you. And whatever you cook for me today, the rice and the fermented pickle and what did I eat again? What's that? Water spinach. and some of little vegan fish rolls. Just a couple or several of them only. And I talk that much. Just this one meal a day. And one meal this day and tea. Yeah? And I talk like this. Huh? Don't cook for me anymore. I told you. You always, even if I tell you not to cook, you already prepare something in the kitchen, waiting for me to come, and then when I see it, then of course I cannot say no. It's Vietnamese food, what to do, you know? And she knows I like Vietnamese food. Yeah, of course I won't die, but of course Vietnamese like Vietnamese food. Like the Korean, they like kimchi, no? Okay. So even there's one kimchi nun, no. I mean a Korean nun here. I worry she misses kimchi. I have to ask her, if you want to eat some Korean food, you make it, okay? You can go kitchen and make it. Or ask this Korean, disciple there, make it for you. She say no, she doesn't miss, because she's also okay with Chinese food, because she's been in Taiwan for some times. And then after she thinking for a while, she said, yeah, but we can make kimchi for you if you want, Master. I said, I'm not Korean, but make it. Make it so that you can eat. And maybe I take a little bit. It's actually for herself, I'm telling you. That's why I told her. And I said, oh, if you don't want to make, I said, do we have ingredient here? You know, otherwise you ask them to buy it for you. And I said, but you make it as good as a Korean or not? It's for you, more or less, more than for me, because I like it, but a little bit, you know. I'm not addicted because I'm not Korean, of course. And she said, yeah, if we have it sent from Korea, then it is more top. I said, okay, then let it send from Korea. You see, don't miss the Korean kimchi, but like it. I said, never mind, whatever you like, you know, you can have it. Because I know, you know, you grow up with it, you know, with kimchi. And how would you not miss kimchi? You know what I mean? Anything else maybe not, but Korean food, when I was there, is not much either, you know. So it's not much that you can miss. But the kimchi, kimchi is too deep not to miss, you know. When I was in Korea, you know, all I see was ginseng. Of course, there's some rice and a little sesame on it. I don't have to exaggerate. And sometimes I don't remember anything else. I just remember deep in my memory, just ginseng. Ginseng saute, ginseng soup, ginseng congee, ginseng salad. Yeah. Of course, I sprinkle some of the lotus root in it just to make a variety. And then a ginseng dessert, you know, ginseng cake, and then a ginseng candies all over on my, in case I need some snacks. The ginseng candy is always ready. And they were strong, these Korean people. Ginseng, you know, ooh, even old woman, if they hold your hand and they don't let you go, then you can't go. It's like the police, what you call it? Shackle, handcuff, yeah. So strong, I never forget. The first time I was talking, giving a talk in Korea, you know, all the old women come and want to hug me and hold my hand, and many of them hold my hand. And, oh, so strong, I can't let go. And the hoover has to come and take one finger out at a time. Remove one finger at a time. They love me so much, they won't let me go, and I can't escape. So strong, their grip. You would thought that old women have no strength. No, don't mistake. If you go there, you know, don't think old woman you can deal with. No. Oh, they're strong. They eat ginseng all their life. Oh, build up power, you know. Oh my God. Okay, forget that. I talk a lot. It's the food and the tea, you know, and the pickles and the tea today. All right, now, do you need anything? Because it's a long talk. You want to rest on tomorrow? No? I don't know how long it lasts. Huh? The way I talk, only 1.5 page. Okay, maybe we can we can bear it. Okay. So now the Bodhisattva continue to talk. When friendships are suddenly broken, When wrong roads and unclean paths are traveled for the sake of expediency, convenience, when good reputations are lost and suffering arises, it is not always the result of desires. He asked the chakra god, because the chakra god say, oh, all this pleasure, why you say is a worldly thing, as if looking down upon. So he says, all desires making trouble. Because of desires, yeah. If you don't have any desires or any gain, then friendship would not be broken, yeah, or suffering will not occur into your life. Okay. Worldly pleasures, he continued, worldly pleasures tend to destroy everyone, the highest, the middling, and the lowest. Is it true, no? People live and die because of desire, no? And pleasure, for pleasure, no? The one who has want to have more, yeah, and sometimes harm others to keep what they have or to gain more, both in this world and the next. Therefore, O Lord Chakra, in order to benefit themselves, the rishis, the yogis, the practitioners, keep their distance from desires as if from angry serpents, snakes, poisons. Okay, Chakra now, maybe finally convinced or impressed with the words by the Bodhisattvas. So he finally feeling pleased, and convinced. So he responded, well said, bravo, well done. And thereupon he confessed that he himself had committed the thefts. So he said, high virtue can be tested only by trial. Therefore, what for? They already left everything, eat just lotus root, and even then still test. I hit the lotus root. How fortunate the world is that such glory is proven by action. Now he praised the Bodhisattva. Here, take these lotus roots from me as proof of your constant and holy behavior. Oh, thank you very much. The Bodhisattva almost died from, a lack of nutrition. We can eat only once a day, and 5 days without anything like that. The body certainly cannot adjust so quick. Yeah. And if the Bodhisattva died, the world lost a brightest light at that time. So that is not fair. It is not good that he did that. Okay, but never mind, he repents. It's okay now. So with these words, he handed the Bodhisattva the lotus roots. But the great being, with true dignity, free from pride, scolded Chakra for his unbecoming and audacious behavior. He scolded him too. I would. So I'm not the only one who scolded him. Thank God we have supporters here, like-minded. So he scolded him. We are no kin to you. We have nothing to do. We're not even your relatives, We are not even your friends. We are neither actors nor buffoons. What then is your reason for coming here, O Lord of gods, to play with rishis in this fashion? Rishis or yogis or ascetics, same, okay? Rishis mean seers, meaning they can see more than ordinary people. They see in different dimensions, not just seeing wisely in this world. Seeing meaning have wisdom, also not just seeing like with the eyes. All right. Okay, I'm talking that to you not because you didn't know all this, but some children, some younger people, they don't understand. So I had to be in detail. Okay. So swiftly, Chakra shook off his divine appearance and his brilliant earrings, his diadem and his lightning bolts. Bowing with much respect, he spoke these words to the Bodhisattva. O great being, You who are free from all selfishness, please forgive my thoughtless actions, as would a father or a teacher. Now he humbled himself, yes. It is not unusual for those whose eyes of wisdom are closed to offend against others. Now he also humble, saying his wisdom eye is not open. Then just go open it, my God. Find some way, find someone who can open it for you. If you go blindly like that, of course, you do wrong thing. Yeah. So he said it's not unusual, it's normal for ignoramus like him to do things against others. Even their equals also. I mean, they fight against each other also. Against gods, these are small gods. Please pardon my offense, and pray do not close your heart to me. Sure. He beg for mercy also. See, don't curse him. Bless him. Yeah. They all bless him already. What else does he want? All the things that he thinks is good, yeah, then they blessed him with that. So, having thus appeased the Bodhisattva, chakra vanished on the spot. This is a comment from the author or whoever related, copied this story. From this story, one can see how those who have learned to appreciate the happiness of solitude are averse to worldly pleasures. They will turn from them as one turns from a disgrace or harm. This Jakarta was explained by the Bhagavat, meaning by the Buddha. Bhagavat is also one of the titles, respected title for the Buddha. Okay, Bhagavat means God, divine. Okay, yeah. Jakarta means the story. Yeah, Jataka means this story was explained by the Bhagavat. Yeah. Okay. Thus, he talked more now. The Bodhisattva, the biggest brother, say, I was the eldest brother of that time. The Buddha incarnation. Sariputra, Maudalayana, Kashyapa, Pona, Aniruddha, and Ananda were the other brothers. Of course, yeah. No wonder, yeah. Palavana was the sister. They all become monks now. I mean, at that time when the Buddha became Buddha again. Yeah. So Palavana was a sister, probably one of the nuns. Okay. And Kupgatara was the maid servant. Yeah, it's all his disciple, or his close disciples now. Kitra, the householder, was the male servant. You see, one of his lay disciples was the male servant at that time. Yeah. Satagiri is the yaksha, the demons. Yeah. And Pariliya was the elephant. Madhudatta was the monkey. His disciple. Kalodain, the chakra of that time. Bear this Jataka well in mind. I mean, remember this story well. To learn from it. Lovely story. Even I read it again, I still love it so much. Well, thank you, the Buddha, Ananda, Reverend Ananda, and all the ones who caused this story to be alive. Yeah, it's for us. Well, thank you for listening. Yeah, you're welcome. I also enjoy, as much as you do, scolding the God. And reminding you, above all, you and, all your brother and sister outside, that we should treasure virtues above all. And we should try to adhere to spiritual practice more than anything else on earth, because that is the lasting treasure, the lasting thing that we could keep. Nothing else in this world we will be able to keep. Nothing. Not even this body we call mind body. Yeah? Not even the brain, the mind, nothing. Yeah. Nothing. is ours. Nothing we can keep. Not, if anything you cannot keep, that's not yours, right? Borrow only. Even as I borrow this body to came to the world, you also borrow your body to come here or to play your part here on this stage of the world. Okay, remember all that and practice well. Keep your precepts. Yeah. Okay, huh? Keep your precept practice. Yeah. And thanks all the saints, past, present, and future, for your fortune to have teaching, to have enough wisdom to understand it. Because not everybody understands it, even though it's spoken in plain language. Yeah, simple language. Okay then, huh? Yeah. Okay. I have to go preach to my dog now. Don't eat too much. Don't eat sweet. Okay. Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Master.
Welcome. See you. Okay?
See you.
See you around. Oh, what are you doing? Look at me playing with a ball. Come and have a look, so cute. Come and have a look, so cute. Oh, look at him, he's smiling. He listened to the Dharma laying down. So cute. Yeah. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to sit up to read the Dharma, listen to the Dharma, put incense and flower and all that. But you're a dog. So the Buddha forgive you, huh? You beautiful you are. Love you, just love you are. Love you are. You're posing the camera, huh? Okay, good model. Okay, be like camera. Okay lah. Okay. Thank you. Have a good trip. And some for you. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Anybody else go tomorrow? No, huh? I don't have a lot to sing it for. Fix it at home, okay, huh? Oh, you're going already, huh? Okay. Have a good trip. Thanks for helping. Okay.